Hello, world, and good morning, America. This is your host, Roosevelt Williams III of the Young Black in the Business Show, and I'm excited because we have Danielle Anderson with us. However, before we begin, the word of the week is efficiency, and the law of success for this week is your network is your net worth. Here at the Young Black in the Business Show, we always start with a commitment, we always deliver with quality, and we're always going to finish with success. So the weather out in San Diego right now is approximately 83 degrees, and so get excited. It's a perfect day for you to get up and get out, so get excited. But most importantly, get connected because we have Danielle Anderson with DA Servicing.
Hey.
Hello, Danielle.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning.
Oh, good morning. We're honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
And just to be true to the word of the week is efficiency. Let us know some of your services, who you are, a little bit about your background.
All right. Well, my name is Danielle Anderson. A little bit about my services. I own a digital marketing company as well as do business consulting. I work on efficiency and productivity for small businesses. My background, I'm from San Diego, born and raised. I went to UC High School. I left, went to Tuskegee. I lived in Vegas for the past 12 years. I got my master's degree while I was there. And now I'm back in San Diego working, trying to help small businesses grow. So that's pretty much what I do. And yeah, sums it up.
Oh, you making it happen. Best believe that because you're actually helping young black in the business in so many ways. So it was our privilege to get you out here and to have you as a host. I'm your host and have you as a guest on the show. Something that you have about social media training. And can you go into some of the services that you offer? Because we have a lot of folks that listen to our show from Las Vegas, Florida, Chicago, in the Bay Area, Texas. So please share with us.
Okay, well, social media training basically boils down to the fact that we have small business owners on different levels when it comes to social media. You have some people that are proficient, they use it for themselves, they know how to use it for business. You have other people that are brand new to it. They just know that, their grandkids are on it and they've maybe had a barbecue restaurant for 20 years. So what I do is I come in and I try to meet business owners where they are, whether it's just, a few questions about how do I do this, how do I do that, what's a hashtag, or there's some people that just don't want any involvement in it at all and they just say, hey, here's X amount of dollars, take care of it. And for those people, I'll set up their social media, run it, and make sure that they have an online presence. And for the other ones, I do offer online training through Facebook Live. I have a few videos up. Coming up, there will be some classes that I offer just on different topics for social media. And we have a lot of events that go on just throughout the city with a lot of training. So there's a lot of opportunities, whether it's just one-on-one or just at free seminars that we offer.
What made you get into this type of business? Because it is cutting edge right now.
Really, it started about 6-7 years ago. Just on social media, I had a few friends that had different businesses that were advertising and, putting out posts, trying to gain business. And I just kind of started critiquing and helping them out and saying, hey, maybe you should do this or not do this or try to do this or let's incorporate this. And, after their, trials and errors and helping them, a few people were like, hey, maybe you should do this as a business. So I was an entrepreneur myself, so just kind of being able to play around with different practices and tactics through my business and then, being able to offer it as a service for other people.
I want to just let you all out there know in Facebook media land that she's very approachable. She's very knowledgeable and she's reliable. When we meet, she comes on time and she's very professional. She takes copious notes, detail down to the persnickety details. So you're real analytical. Can you give us any foresight on what you see, what's coming up in the social media world? What's new, what's embarking in the future?
Okay, well, Facebook just put out something actually a couple days ago. It came from their owner, and he said that basically he feels that Facebook should be more about experiences with your friends and family. So what that means for business owners is that those of us that have pages that are used to being able to put out posts and say, hey, this is what's going on, or, this is a sale that's going on in my business, Facebook is now going to bring that to the bottom. So there's an algorithm, and I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that.
An algorithm?
Yes.
Okay, please break us down what an algorithm is.
Okay,
please.
So the algorithm is basically how Facebook decides what you want to see. So I'm sure that you guys log on and you notice that you may see the same 5 or 10 people all the time, right? Well, these are typically the people that you interact with the most. So you may have 600 friends, but you're only seeing 20, 30, maybe 50. And that's because Facebook said, hey, these are the people they interact with. These are the people who they like their pictures. They share on each other's wall. So we're going to put them to the top. So what they also do that for small businesses as well. So they may say, okay, this person, checks out this business a lot. I've noticed that they click on their stuff and they've liked it and they've followed it. So Facebook will kind of put their stuff at the top. So if you really look at your Facebook and you go from your computer, because a lot of the stuff that you see, you can't see from your phone. You can see how many pages you follow, and then ask yourself, how many of those pages do you really see? You've probably liked about 50, 60 pages, but you only see 3 to 4 or 5 on a regular. So what that is that's the algorithm that Facebook is doing. So now, going forward, what they've done is they've said, well, we don't think that you even want to see those businesses. We feel that we're going over the top with all of these businesses and videos that we're sharing from all these companies. So Facebook is going to change the algorithm. So now you're going to see more of your friends and family and less of businesses. So as an individual, that's great because you want to interact with your friends and family. As a business owner, that just makes it tougher to use Facebook as a platform that you're advertising with.
Did you hear that? They're making a power analysis on who we're clicking and who we're speaking to. That's why we have to have that broad scope when we're in business. So speaking to the young black in the business world, broaden your horizon. Use our social media platform as a business outlet to the mass media, sort of say, for their consumption. Well, we got Danielle Anderson here with DA Servicing. How can you be contacted for folks that want to look you up and find a little bit more about who you are and how to contact you?
Well, you can always go to my website, daservicing.com, DASERVICING. Same thing on Facebook. Just type in the search bar D.A.Servicing. It should pop right up. Same name on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Consistency.
So, exactly. And that's really important in your business too, is branding and making sure that people know how to find you. Oftentimes, you'll have people where you're one name on Facebook, a different name on Instagram, a different name on Twitter, and you're wondering why you don't have consistency with your followers or why people don't know how to reach you. You definitely want to brand yourself and be consistent across the board on all platforms.
Absolutely. For those out there that have their young black in the business pen and that are taking copious notes, I want to let you all know that consistency is the key to the combination.
Absolutely.
Consistency is the key to the combination. Miss Anderson, okay, Miss Businesswoman, Miss Master's Degree, Miss Business Professional. Can you give us 3 tips that you may just want to recommend folks? Some trinkets, some jewels about how to conduct themselves on social media and how to be a master brander?
Well, you want to be consistent. So, like you said, consistency is key. So, if you're a business, people want to know that you're there. So you can't just post, on Sunday, come back next month. You have a sale going on in February, but you still have the same sale up from December. So you want to be consistent and, you want your social media to be an extension of your business. You also want to be professional, in those posts and in that consistency. A lot of times, you see someone and they're, maybe on their friend's page and they're saying, hey, check out my business page. And you happen to click on their page and it's everything under the sun but professionalism. So depending on what their business is, if they're saying something where professionalism, like say maybe a tattoo artist where, you have a little more leniency, that may not be a big deal. But if you're saying attorney, that may rub some people the wrong way. Or if you're a pastor or, things like that. So you really want to be mindful of the image that you're portraying on social media. People Google your name or Google your business and all of these things pop up. So you can think that you're really locking your page down or people don't see those types of things, but they do. They may see your post on your friend's page. So your page may be private, but your friend's post is wide open. And here you are cursing and doing things that are, kind of negative. So just be mindful of those types of things. And then just be professional again. And then also include all of your stuff. A lot of times, people say this is for sale, but people don't know how to get in touch with you. You don't have your phone number. You don't have your website. There's no email address. So make sure that you're putting your information out there. It's consistent and it's professional.
Get excited. We have Danielle Anderson here of DA Servicing. And what I mean by get connected is log on to her, check her page out, follow her, contact her. You may have a question. I'm telling you, she is a thorough consultant when it comes to DA Servicing, social media training, social media management, email marketing management, brand development, professional development courses, okay? Operations analyst, blogging, public speaking, secret shopping, okay? Virtuous woman, very dynamic, and believe me, she does it all, and she's very approachable. So I highly recommend that you send her a note on Facebook. Where can we contact you?
You can go to, if you want to email me, it's info@daservicing.com, or again, you can go to my website, just daservicing.com. There's a few different ways to contact me there.
I'm going to just say, for those that have their Young Black in the Business power pen, can you say that again? Because they're going to write this down. How can they contact you?
Okay, info@daservicing.com is my email address, or you can go straight to my website, www.daservicing.com.
And the most important thing to all those San Diego heroes, she's right here in our community. Homegrown, very organic. Let's talk about, you said you got a master's degree?
Yes, in business.
In business. So I want to just take this time to present you with a Young Black in the Business power pen.
Awesome,
because
thank
it's
you.
power in every stroke. And I want to say congratulations on being, being tenacious, and and receiving that degree. You stuck to it. And I also seen that you were at the Historical Black College University yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us about that, about representing Tuskegee.
Yes, so I'm a Tuskegee graduate. I left San Diego, went straight to Tuskegee. I graduated in 2004 with a degree in hospitality management. So a lot of people don't know that is my background, which is food service. So I've been a food service manager, or was a food service manager for about 13 years in various capacities at the middle schools in Vegas. I used to work for Outback, Steak and Shake, a couple different companies as a manager. So that's where the operations analysis come from. I'm used to a fast-paced environment and just being able to make quick decisions as a manager in that capacity. So I've realized that helping people and helping small businesses grow is my passion. So that's where I'm growing now.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to just say, this is the time in the show before we take a commercial break. I want to present you also, with because this show is brought to you by the Soul Cobbler. I am the Soul Cobbler. I repair man and woman shoes, handbags, and luggage. I stitch, I sew. Not only can I save your soul, I can heal you, and I'll even die for you. And what I mean by that is I can save the sole on your shoe. I can also fix your heels on your shoe as well, and I can even dye the color. So I want to present you, with our latest product. It even comes in a velvet bag.
Awesome.
Rose's Velvet Skin Softener is good for your hands, your feet, and your elbows. That's yours to have it.
Awesome.
If you want to give us a testimony on air, more than likely. But before you do it, I want to give a shout out to DA Servicing because she has her own chapstick. Okay, and my lips are chapped right now, so I'm gonna apply some of this right here to these chapped lips. And I'll give you a testimony as well because it's all about supporting each other. Vertical integration and unification. Do you see how we got products and we're sharing them with each other? We're keeping the dollar circulating in our circle. How's that? Is something different?
Yeah, it feels really good actually. It's smooth, smells good. So yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay, and I'm opening up this chapstick right here so I can apply these to these lips right here because we all need some chapstick in our pocket sometimes. And we also need some gum when we're doing business as well. But spit it out before you go places. But you want to have you don't want to have that decaying tooth in your mouth and be bad mouthing everybody. So in business, have some chapstick and also have some gum and also have your Young Black in the Business pen in your pocket.
Ready to go. Yeah, and those aren't products that I sell. These are just branding. Again, I'm all about marketing and branding yourself. So when I do events and come to places, I always have things that are for my business that I can leave for people. So they can think about DA Servicing today, tomorrow, next week. They might find it somewhere. And, now this is someone that's familiar with my business that wasn't previously. So that's really what it's all about.
From the pen to the chapstick, that's a nice angle. I like that. That's admirable. So stay tuned because when we return, we're going to go more into DA Servicing with Danielle Anderson. She's going to give us her 8 steps to success and how to be financial free. So here on the Young Black in the Business Show, we always start with a commitment. We're always going to deliver with quality. And most importantly, we're always going to finish with success. The word of the week is efficiency. That's why we have Danielle Anderson with us on how to be more efficient and how to practice time management. Young Black in the Business, we are restoring the color, the culture, and the consciousness. We believe that our network is our net worth. connecting young black entrepreneurs in San Diego and across the nation is pivotal for our economic growth. When they see us, we're gonna be wise, we're gonna be beautiful, and we're gonna be strong. And that's all they ever gonna see when they see us. And that's young, black, and in business. And not only are we black, we're back on the Young Black in the Business Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt Williams III, and the word of the day in the week is efficiency. And the law of success for this week is your network is your net worth. I want to just take this time to remind you all to go out there and pick up the B section in the San Diego Union Tribune. That's the business section. If you're not aware about that, reading is fundamental. And C6, I want you all to get excited and get connected because it's talking about pay down those credit cards before interest rates rise further. Interest rates are beginning to rise, and you want to just pay down your credit cards before the interest rates keep going up because you'll be paying more. You may go pay a dinner that's $20, but your interest rate is rising. Before you know it, you pay for a $20 meal, and now you having to pay your credit card company $60 to $70 because interest rates are rising. So just keep that in mind. We have to be able to invest in ourselves, okay, and pay ourselves first. So we have Danielle Anderson here with DA Services. Tell us more about branding, brand development, if you don't mind.
Well, brand development is really just being strategic with what you're doing. So it's, little things like this. You have your Young Black in Business power pins and, your products here. And I have my DA servicing things. And it's really just making sure that when you're creating your business cards, you're making sure that you're adding your, website, your social media links. When you're creating your social media page, that you're adding your website and making sure that they know how to email you and put your phone number. So you're really developing your brand. You're controlling it. You're putting yourself out there, whether it's going to events or going to different, workshops or things like that. So you look at your brand, you look at where you want to be and kind of what steps it would take to get you there, and then just, kind of develop it.
Okay. How would what's the first step in developing a brand? Because I know a brand, for folks that know, it's more than a logo.
Right.
So what would be some of the a successful step into creating a brand?
So you kind of want to look at who your business is, right? Like, what does your business represent? And that's easy to say, oh, well, I just want to sell t-shirts. Okay, well, who's your demographic? So if your demographic are, say, women, you're targeting black women or African American women, then what does your brand sound like? What is your brand? How do you market yourself? And when you start thinking of that way along the lines of who you're trying to reach and how you want to reach them, then you start thinking of what visuals they like to see or where they hang out. And now you can think of ways that you want to develop that. And it's all just really cohesive because, again, if you are targeting black women, but your, say, marketing are all women of non-color, then, these women are wondering, well, who are these products aimed towards? So it's really being strategic in what you're doing in the planning and really developing that so that what you're putting out reflects that. You want to make sure that the visual matches what you're saying, or vice versa. What you're saying matches your visual. So everything needs to be cohesive. And if you're the face of your brand, that goes back to being professional and representing your brand. If you want to say that you're professional and, your products are for queens, how are you carrying yourself? Or
Message.
how is, or
Message.
vice versa, for kings. If you're doing an organization and you're speaking positivity and things like that, but you're not representing yourself in that way, or the pictures that are reflecting your brand don't represent that, then people aren't going to make that connection. So it's really just being, again, strategic and putting thought into what you're doing.
Being a tactician. And just let you know, you can contact Ms. Danielle Anderson at DA Servicing, and her website is www.daservicing.com. So when it comes to email marketing, I have a question. Do you think it hurts a brand when they spam on Facebook? Let's say, for example, they may have an event coming up, or they just may have a message that they want to get out, and they're on everybody's group saying the same thing, and tagging 99 people. Because I'm learning. Does that help or hurt a brand?
Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit of Danielle's personal opinion. I'm not a fan of tagging 99 people, a zillion people. I'm all for putting your product out there. So now I'm not against going in groups, especially groups that are targeted for that message.
Because I'm learning.
Yeah,
it may be me.
Yeah, so if you have a group that's targeted for a specific message, absolutely go in there and share your event. You know, if it's a small business owner group, you absolutely want to share events that are related to small business owners. If you sell, you know, shirts for, again, black women, and this is a group for black women, and they're open for, you know, advertisement, then absolutely. But you also want to be mindful of, again, where's your long-term goal and what do you want your business to look like? So if your goal is to say, you sell shirts, and or, you know, let's say you're a mom and pop and you want to be on the level of, say, Walmart. Is Walmart spamming people when they put out ads? Is Walmart tagging 99 people every time they have an event? Probably not. So you need to think of other ways that you can kind of get your message across. And then also think of the people that you're tagging. Are these people that you've talked to about your event? Do they have any involvement in your event? Or are you just tagging them because they're on your friends list?
Right.
So kind of be more mindful of that. You know, people that have connections to the event that are going to be there, that may be sponsors, they probably don't mind. And if it's their business, tag their business. Their business is going to be there. So they probably absolutely want you to tag their business. They probably don't want you tagging them individually, because I know a lot of people like to keep their personal and their business separate. So now, you know, it's just kind of impeding a lot of times. So I would just, personally, I'm not a fan of it. You know, a lot of people, that is their method, and, you know, hey, whatever works for you. Again, I don't personally care for people to tag me in their events, especially when there's someone that I typically don't talk to on a regular. They typically don't share my events or come to them or even like my, you know what I mean? So just think of it that way. Think of the person that you're tagging. When's the last time you supported their business? But you're jumping out there tagging them in your stuff. So, you know, it's kind of reciprocal. You need to, you know.
I definitely agree. We have to support each other. We got this question out here in social media land from Ms. Barrow. What's the best way to use social media to sell your product and services?
So there's a big...
Thank you for that question, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, definitely. And people get that a lot. They really want to know, you know, how can I use social media to really push my business? So the one thing you want to think of is, one, that there's a rule that says social media should be about 80% information, just sharing, giving quality content, and then 20% sales. So what that means is you don't want every post to be buy my service, here's what I sell, because people, one, get bored, two, they start tuning it out, and then three, they get, you know, kind of irritated. Like, I mean, that's just, it's spammy almost, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to follow this page because I know what they're saying, right? They're going to tell me to buy their new shirt. And typically, sometimes it might be the same shirt. You haven't even changed the shirt, but for 6 months, it's been buy my shirt. So you really want to find ways to give value. Why else would people want to come to your page? Are you giving information? You know, like, for instance, on my social media, I give a lot of tips. I give a lot of just, you know, things that business owners can use. I share a lot of articles. So again, going back to who's your target demographic. If your target demographic is black women, share things that black women are interested in. So now you have your listeners' attention. So now when you talk about your event or you talk about your product, you've kind of warmed people up. It's the same way if you enter a room. You're going to say, hi, how are you doing? My name is Danielle. You're not just going to walk in the room and say, boom, this is my t-shirt, buy it. So social media is the same way.
It's a business introduction.
Right. It's an extension of your business. You know, it should be a way for you to showcase what your business does, behind the scenes, you know, things, let people know who you are, what type of, you know, what goes into these products, you know, things like that. It doesn't always have to be purchase, you know, get them interested. If you make t-shirts, show them the pressing process. If you know, are an attorney, maybe show them what goes on behind closed doors. People only see maybe the courtroom. Show them you know, going through files, or, you know, just whatever your business is. And then, like I said, once you have people's attention, now they're more receptive to want to buy your services. They trust you.
And I definitely agree. I want to just share with the Young Black in Business Nation 5 ways of communication, whether it's social media or whether it's greeting someone. You have your introduction. Hello, who am I? You have your short story. You know, you can give them a quick short story. Then you have make yourself relatable. And then you have your sale. But the most importantly, if you're in business, I want you to use your Young Black in the Business pen to write this down. It's rehash. You have to rehash. And rehash is an acronym. Remember, everyone has a sale hidden. Remember, everyone has a sale hidden. So, for example, after you sell something to someone, you may want one for your auntie. What about your sister? What about your neighbor? Remember, everyone has a sale hidden. So, that's another jewel for you for today. So, you have another question from Noah. How long have you been working in the social media world, and have you seen the social media atmosphere change?
I've been
Good question.
again doing social media. Thank you. For about what I say seven since 2010. So now, well, we're approaching 8 years. It's 2018. Ooh, time flies. And definitely, I've seen a big change in social media. Again, the algorithm has changed a lot of stuff. Facebook. One thing you can always count on is that Facebook is not going to charge its users. They're going to charge businesses. So that's one of the big things. If you notice, you'll see every year around this time, oh, share this post, Facebook's going to start charging, or, and they're absolutely not going to do that. They realize that they can make money from businesses. So what that means is that whereas maybe 5 years ago or maybe 4 years ago, as a business, you were able to put a post up and you'd get the same traction as an individual. Well, Facebook realized, well, wait a minute, we can make money off of these businesses. Why would we just let them use our platform to advertise? So that's why it's getting harder and harder for businesses on Facebook, is because they really want you to pay to play. So that's one of the biggest changes. Facebook bought Instagram. So another thing is that if you've followed the evolution, I guess, of social media, or if you've been on different sites from the beginning, you've noticed that Facebook has a tendency to adapt other platforms, right? So they started the news feed similar to Twitter, because they realized that Twitter had a lot of traction about 4 or 5 years ago, and that turned into the "what are you doing?" and the difference of the way that their time feed changed. Then Facebook bought Instagram. They just said, you know what, we're not even going to attempt to try to do this, so we'll just buy them out. So now they bought them out. So now, if you've noticed, again, now you're noticing sponsored ads on Instagram. That's another place that businesses are able to target individuals, in addition to having a page, but also paying to be on the top of different timelines of individuals. So there's all of these platforms that started out just as a cool way to kind of showcase your business. They're realizing that there's a lot of money in businesses. So that's one of the biggest changes, is that whereas before you could get your message out there for free, a lot of these platforms really want you to pay to play. So you have to be creative with the ways that you market yourself and use it.
And that's beautiful. And that just makes me think, as a community, as a collective, that's how we have to adapt to our environment and our situations as a whole, especially as a cohesive network. We have to adapt like a Facebook. Mm-hmm. We use these big businesses and these brands, and that's how we should model ourselves. Use them as a model, for success.
Right.
We should be able to adapt like Facebook. And as a people and as a community, we're not in a position to compete with each other. We're only in a position to dominate with each other. I personally believe our people and our community are stronger when we work together. And it's a privilege to have you. DA Servicing, we got Danielle Anderson in the building. She's gracing us with her presence and her gems. And she's open for business. You can find her at DA Servicing, and her website is www.daservicing.com. Contact her. She's very relatable, very approachable, and very knowledgeable. So please continue. Let me get out the way. What are some more gems, some more trinkets that you can give us? Because social media is an epoch. It's real big in our generation.
Right.
We're living in the blink of an eye, and we have this hold on where we could be our own branding agents. We can we could be our own marketing. So how would you recommend that we brand ourselves, like the vision? What is your 100-year plan?
Well, my 100-year plan is for one to live that long. Shoot, we can start with that. But really, it's just to help small businesses. I think that I really feel that kind of going back to what you said about us being our own platform and really being able to create not really the story, but you can push yourself in whichever way you want it to be, good or bad. And I think that's where a lot of people, miss the mark with social media. It's really easy to, push yourself, but you can also be working against yourself and working kind of negatively just by a lot of the things that you do. But one thing that we can always do to support each other and to help each other is, if a friend has a business, like their business page. Again, that helps with that algorithm, comment on their post. If they're asking a question, respond to the question. Or, if you use their products, give them a shout out, give them 5 stars. because those are the things that are one going to help Facebook and all of these algorithms with Google, Instagram, they're all computers. And the way that they come up with these algorithms are based on what's popular, what are people checking for, what sites are people going to. So your friend may actually have an amazing product, but because the people that are directly around them aren't talking about it, aren't liking it, aren't sharing it, the algorithm assumes, well, it must not be great, right? Because this person has 700 fans and only 7 of them like this product or are talking about it. So let's go against the computer. Let's confuse the computer. Let's help each other out. Like those comments. Go to your friends' pages. Make a point sometimes when you're laying in bed at 5 in the morning scrolling Facebook. Go to some of your friends' pages and take that time to like their stuff and comment, because that's what's going to help them out in the long run. When you buy a product, share it. Tag their business page. Again, a lot of times we spend so much time tagging the individual when I'm trying to get my business out there. You know what I mean? Not that I don't appreciate you tagging me, but tag my business. I'm trying to help my business grow.
Facebook 2018, sharing is caring.
Absolutely.
Sharing is caring. See a business, see something positive, especially when it's business related. Sharing is caring. We're going to share the information because we live to give. Mm-hmm. I'm very passionate for my city because it's America's finest city. However, we are global, universal as well. But, San Diego especially has a special place in my heart, and sharing is caring. And I like what you said. Sometimes you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to share. You have to like. You have to comment.
Absolutely.
And pretty much be physical. Go and support.
Yeah, definitely.
Events. When they see your face, you're more relatable.
Absolutely.
You're more relatable, and then you have your people skills.
Yeah, and I think that's also something to really bring up too, is because a lot of people have this thought that social media, I'm just gonna put a few posts out there, I'm gonna tell people what my website is, and boom, I'm gonna make a bunch of money, and it's really not that way. Social media is just an extension of your business. It's just a way for you to be more cohesive and diverse with your marketing and with your brand. So again, he said you need to show up. You need to be out in the community or wherever you do business at. Let people know what your product is, what your service is. When you're, doing business with other individuals, tell them about your product. Share your card and things like that, because that's pretty much what it's about. If people need to see something. I think, what is it? Anywhere from 3 to 8 times. I believe. You know what I mean? So you really need to help yourself out with that.
And can you go more into depth about that? Because you have to see your business, your brand at least 5 times before they even pay really attention.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Can you elaborate more on that? And please.
Okay, so that's one of those, I guess, a marketing rule or a, psychology law or something of that. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to attribute that to. But at the end of the day, what it says is that someone needs to see something 5 times, typically, before it's going to stick in their head. So that's the reason that you may say, drive down the freeway and you see a McDonald's on the side of the road. And then you also see a McDonald's billboard. And you're seeing McDonald's, radio ads, or you're hearing McDonald's radio ads, and you're seeing them on TV, and you're also seeing them in print ads. You know what I mean? McDonald's is huge. Like, do they really need to spend that kind of money? Probably not, because they have that following. But at the end of the day, they want to make sure that everywhere you turn, you're seeing them in some shape, form, or capacity. So it's the same thing for small businesses. You have to put yourself out there.
Okay, you see them on the way to work. You hear them on radio. You see the billboard. Next thing you know, by lunchtime, you pulling in getting a Big Mac.
Exactly.
Because they're being redundant. It's all in your face. That's why, even when it comes to marketing, if you be consistent with your message,
mm-hmm.
you be redundant, practice that consistency. Before you know it, you have followers. Your people be able to see your message. It's mm-hmm. burning in their brain. So just remember that. And sharing is caring, and we live to give. And I just want to thank you again for sharing the jewels and the trinkets with us on the
mm-hmm.
show as well. That's DA Servicing, Danielle Anderson. You can go to her Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Please give us some of your handles if people want to contact you.
Okay, so again, if you're on Facebook, you can search d.a.servicing, and my Facebook page will pop up. I'm open to just, Facebook friends. So if you just want to connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn, it's Danielle Anderson. You can reach out, send me a friend request or a connection there. I'm all for it. Again, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter is the same thing, DA Servicing. So you can just, search either way and it'll pop right up. Connect, let me know that this is where you saw me, leave a message or whatnot. And yeah.
Okay, perfect. I want you all to add your questions here in the message because the last 10 minutes of the show, we're going to do a Q&A with
Okay.
Miss DA Servicing. And I'm going to let you know she is a guru when it comes to that. So get your questions ready. The last 10 minutes of the show, that'll be in 8 minutes. We're going to do Q&A. So get excited and get connected. And what we mean by get connected is follow, tag her business, send her out a question. She is open for business. She will send you an invoice. However, it is reasonable and she is reliable. Okay, and she's committed to servicing. What made you think of I like the Danielle Anderson servicing? It's that's clear, complete, and concise. How did you come up with some of your branding techniques?
Really, it's just, when you think of your business, when it comes, whether it's your logo, your name, you really want to help yourself, right? So I say that to say that you want your logo or your name to kind of reflect your business. So for me, I knew that, I wanted to do some type of consulting. I really didn't want to be stuck under the umbrella that if I said something that was, just strictly social media, and I want to do different things, I'm kind of stuck under that umbrella. So I wanted to have something that was kind of open that I could, add quite a few different services under. When I had my maintenance company, it was the same thing, the name was a problem solved, and it was because, obviously you have a problem, you're calling a handyman, we're going to solve your problem. So typically, again, when you think of your logo, your name, think of what service you offer, and if someone said that name, would they be able to kind of pinpoint what you
identify?
Do? Yeah,
right.
Or even your logo. When they look at it, I mean, obviously this one's pretty generic, but sometimes you look at people's logo and you're thinking, I don't have a clue what they do for business. So you really want to kind of, or they may have, say, scissors in their thing, but they're a baker. So if you have scissors in your logo and you bake, like those totally don't have anything to do with each other. So be mindful of what your service is and what people want to be able, or how you want them again to perceive, because social media marketing and just digital marketing in general is very visual, and people look at it and they're just going to run with sometimes what they see, and that's how you see a lot of companies get in trouble, such as what just happened this week with H&M. So you really have to be mindful of just visuals and how people are going to see things and perceive it, whether it's your intent or not.
Well, I'm gonna just say this about H&M, and I'll leave it like this. Every time they see us, we're gonna be beautiful, we're gonna be wise, and we're gonna be strong, and that's all they ever gonna see when they see us, and that's Young Black and in Business. Mm-hmm. So okay, back on that. And for the person that said, how can I contact you? Just let you know, you can contact 858-480-9262 for the Cobble service, or any questions about being on the show, or if you just have a question for DA servicing, or if you want to get invited to the Power Mixer. And Young Black in the Business is a cohesive network. So, I mean, you may contact me to contact Danielle. However, we can work with each other, because together, everyone achieves more. There's value in teamwork, because I highly recommend DA servicing, her consultantship. She's helping out on websites. She's helping me out with invoices, newsletters. She's teaching the Young Black in the Business Nation things that we didn't even know about, and we have a jewel in our community, and we need to celebrate that. And I'm thoroughly impressed with you. That's why we had to have you on the show. Efficiency. You're helping us be more efficiency, helping us practice our time management. System for those that have the Young Black in the Business pen is save yourself time, energy, and money. Efficiency, and you're helping us be efficient, and you're also just bringing awareness to our network is our net worth. People that we're networking with on social media could be a net worth, but we have to present ourselves in that positive light, be consistent in our branding, our marketing. We have to show up to these events. We have to be present, and we have to be knowledgeable. A lot of folks go on social media and just say something. However, they don't have nothing to say. So yeah, we gonna share. A team collective, and I'm just proud of you, and I look forward to seeing more out of you. So look, before we go into the question and answer period of the show, I want to just let you know that DA Servicing offers social media training. Let's get 10 seconds on social media training.
So again, that's just me, coming into your office, your organization. I can do a presentation for, your entire office. If you just want to sit down and ask a few questions as far as training, it really boils down to what you need. So my services, I try to ask people, where are you at? What do you need? How can I help your business? and then tailor my services to fit that.
That's DA servicing. Can you give us elaborate briefly on brand development?
Brand development really is me looking at your business and saying, how can we develop your brand? What are you missing? What can we add to your business cards? What can we add to your website? What are your people at the counter not saying? Are you letting people know that, if you have a brick and mortar restaurant, do they know that do you have a hashtag? Do they know how to reach you on social media? They want to share, your chicken wings because they're delicious. Are you telling them where to go to use that hashtag to share that picture? So, just making sure that your brand is cohesive and that everything again, it makes sense, it flows, and that you're representing yourself the best way that you can to grow your business.
What can you share with us about operation analysis?
So now that just goes back to, my history as a food service manager and just being able to look at situations and kind of, assist in making them run smoother, run better. A lot of times, as business owners, sometimes we're stagnant or we've been doing things for so long that we may not even realize that it's an issue or that we can be more efficient, which is the word of the day. So one thing that I do is try to come in with a clear set of eyes and say, okay, maybe if instead of having this person email this person to turn around and email this person, let's just send the emails to them and let them handle it. Or, figuring out what step we're missing or what we can implement to help your business run smoother.
I highly recommend that you contact DA Servicing today because a lot of times we're in our business, we're in the core of our business, and a lot of times it's healthy to be able to step back and see the big picture when it comes to how to influence the surrounding circle. So to be able to have someone with a clear eye, sort of say, come in and give you their perspective, knowledgeable perspective is an asset. What can you share with us about public speaking?
So again, that just kind of goes back to social media training. I do try to, be a positive example for the youth in our community. I am a product of, San Diego, the Southeast more specifically. So with that being said, sometimes people are looking for individuals to come in and just, like I said, be a positive example to the youth or to speak at different events, whether it's about business or, just, my story or whatever the case is. So just letting people know that I am available for events to be a keynote speaker or just assist panelists and things of that nature.
Okay, in conclusion for this show, before we go into our Q&A, I want to just share with you all free consultation when you mention Young Black in the Business and DA Servicing. However, it's in the brochure. We offer free needs assessment consultation in order to properly determine the needs of your business. So, in layman terms, she will sit with you personally and give an assessment of your business and give you a free consultation. Social media marketing packages starting at $100. Email marketing servicing starting at $20. One-on-one training starting at $50 because this is a business. You can contact Danielle Anderson at info.daservicing.com. Her direct line, sort of say, is 702-706-7152. For you with the Young Black in the Business pen, I'll repeat it again, 702-706-7152. So now is a time for the Q&A. So our first question would be, what do you think about customer service in today's world? I want to thank Sade for that question. What do you think about customer service in today's world?
I think that it's obviously still very important. I think that a lot of people don't put it to the top of their priority list as they should. A lot of times I hear a lot of business owners with the attitude that, people can leave or, like as if they're not thankful for their customers, not realizing that customers are what, feed your business. So I think that people need to be more thankful for that and just be, more professional. At the end of the day, you are a business. So think of how you want to be received when you go into a business, and if someone responded to you that way, how would you feel? If you emailed a business to complain about anything, if you had an issue with the service, and just take a step back and ask yourself if they responded the same way that you're about to respond, how would you feel? So just really, putting yourself in that customer's position and just, realizing that it's still very important. You should, makes a difference.
Perfect. And hopefully you got that and you took copious notes with your Young Black in the Business pen. A question from Noah. Do you feel that H&M was disrespectful in your own personal opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it was intentional or not, the bottom line is that that's what happens when you don't have full representation at the table. You need to be mindful of what's disrespectful to other races, sexes, religions, things like that. And when you live in a box and only interact with individuals that look like you, think like you tend to be unaware of those things. So whether they sat there and said, "Ha ha ha, this is funny, let's try to slide it in," or they were just really clueless because everyone in their circle looks like them and they just are that oblivious. The bottom line is that it shouldn't have happened. There should be checks and balances in place, and you should have at least a board possibly for a company of that size to say, no, this absolutely is going to be offensive. So yeah, they were negligent in that all the way.
And that's beautiful. And that's another reason why we need more um, Afrocentric businesses that are policing these big brands.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, it's a reflection of us. We can't be complacent and just believe everything we see on social media. Tell us a little bit about how people are using social media for fake news.
Well, with the thing with social media too is that anyone can create a site, anyone can create a page, anyone can put out any type of information that they want. So I think as a business owner or just as an individual, you really have to really take a second to do your own research, find out if these people are credible, if they're even knowledgeable. Because you have people that take this platform and they'll put out information and take a platform against or a stance against certain things or for certain things. And when you do your research and find out who they are or what they're about, you realize that they're really unknowledgeable, and you might have just ruffled your own feathers over it, nothing. So um, yeah, just do your own research and be mindful that your information is only as credible as your source. So if you're running with information that you find on social media just because someone said it on Instagram and you never took a second to really research that topic, then that's kind of your own fault too. So you need to
Absolutely, we call it a TBV, and that's a trust but verified.
absolutely.
You need more than one source to actually verify what's really going on.
Right.
What's really going on? Is there anything else that you want to add before the show is over? I mean, what's next for DA servicing?
Well, next for DA servicing, again, I work with Paving Great Future, so we have a year-long series coming up. It's going to start this Tuesday. It's going to be the third Tuesday of every month. It's for entrepreneurs. So every month we're just going to talk about a different topic that'll help small businesses grow or, just give people tips or tidbits to start a business, whether it's something that you've been planning, thinking about, you're not sure, you just want to come get some information. That'll be going on every third Tuesday of the month. And then we're also going to start doing a networking event every second Friday of the month out at the 4 Point Sheridan.
Nice.
So that's going to be for Black small business owners. Let's come out, let's network, let's get to know each other every month, and just a couple hours after work, and just show face. Again, goes back to being cohesive with your business. You can't just typically always be online. People want to know who's behind that business, and people do business with who they trust and who they know at the end of the day. So let's come out every second Friday to the Sheraton at the 4 Points, and let's get to know each other. And other than that, just trying to grow my business, getting to know as many business owners as I can in San Diego. I'm newly coming back to the community, so I'm just trying to again meet people and get out and figure out if there's ways that we can help each other. I love sharing different events. If you guys follow me on social media, you know that if I stop at your restaurant, I'm going to shout it out if the food's good. Well, I'll typically shout it out before because I don't know if it's good or not. But
Right.
Nonetheless, I like to shout out, small businesses and places that I do business with, because it's easy to go to Starbucks every day, but, it takes a minute to find that mom and pop in your community and really help them grow. Because, Starbucks, I'm sure their advertising budget is in the millions, but that mom and pop that, you drive
Good
past
point.
every day, stop in, give them a shout out, let people know that they're there and that you've checked them out. So that's pretty much what you find from me. I really want to start highlighting other businesses, so I'm going to be, kind of doing a weekly interview myself just on different topics. It really short, nothing, to this extent, but more so on the blogging level and just talking about different topics in ways that we can kind of help small businesses. So that's pretty much what I'm on.
That's outstanding, and we look forward to continuing to network with you as well. And, you can contact DA Servicing. Okay, I'm going to give you a number again, 702-706-7152. include her, tag her. If you know a business that is a startup business that may need help with branding services or may just need that free consultation, please contact her. I highly recommend it. Very approachable, very relatable, and when I say reliable, and that's DA Servicing, Danielle Anderson. On Facebook, Instagram, what are some of your handles?
Same thing, DA Servicing, Twitter, LinkedIn. So, I try to keep it simple. Again, that goes back to branding. Small businesses, keep that in mind. You don't want 10 different names on every different platform. Try to keep it cohesive. And even if you're not ready to move forward with your business, go and lock down those names. Go get your domain name and make sure that you're able to, at least have those when you're ready to move forward.
So remember, we're going to bring her back to the show so she can go into depth on how do you lock down those domain names and just take your business to the next level. This is a DA Servicing, Danielle Anderson. We want to just say again, hello world and good morning America. The word of the week is efficiency, okay? Be efficient in what you do. Save yourself time, energy, and money. The law of success for this week is your network is your net worth. Remember who you're networking with. They may have a different net worth than yourself. However, nobody's better than us, and we're not better than anybody else. We always start with a commitment. We always deliver with quality, and we're always going to finish with success. And every time you see us, we're going to be beautiful. We're going to be wise, and we're going to be strong. And that's all they ever going to see when they see us, because that's Young Black and in Business. Today, we discuss social media training, social media management, email marketing, brand development, professionalism, operations analyst, public speaking. We spoke a little bit on credit restoration and blogging with DA Servicing. And you can contact her on Facebook, Instagram, social media. We also gave the plug that consistency is the key to the combination. Okay, you have to be consistent in everything that you do. We answer some beautiful questions from our, some of our viewers. We're going to do that every single week. So make sure that you have your Young Black in Business pen and you're taking copious notes. And get excited. Tell a friend about the show. Make sure that you go out and get the C section in the Union Tribune, because the C section is the business section. They need to make it the B section, but it's the C section. Make it consistent.
Right.
That's what we spoke about. See, so we gotta trust but verify. It's nothing that we can't do as well. As a people, I want to just say, it's time that we have our own commercial executive complex, where we can have our own businesses and have our own suites. We can have our own town. Absolutely. We can have a Young Black in the Business plaza. So that's what we're looking forward to. So I want to just encourage you all to come to the Power Networking Mixer on the last Saturday in January. Danielle will be there. Absolutely. She'll have a table. You can speak to her directly. This is a great opportunity to show your face.
Yeah, let's get to know each other.
Very relatable. Okay, I highly recommend it. Down to earth, real person. Okay, and remember, DA Servicing, 702-706-7152, and this is your host, Roosevelt Williams III of the Young Black in the Business Show. We're here every Sunday at 10 a.m. and get excited and get connected with DA Servicing. And
all right, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
And thank you for joining us. And make it a great week. Go out and be prosperous. We'll see you next Sunday at 10 a.m. Thank you.